So, what's good? My name is Kevin Valentine, as you know, the creator of Live to Make History. And in this video, we're going to I always get that every time. So in this video, we're going to specifically be talking quickly about DOMS. What is DOMS? You know, when you get up, or you finish training the day before, I'm in pain. What is DOMS? DOMS basically means delayed onset muscle soreness. So it's a stimulus you get the day post after training. So it's just basically the breakdown of muscle tissue. I'm trying to be specific and be basic so you can be on your way to continue to make your gains. So DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, you get when you break the muscle tissue down. This could be from lifting heavy weights, going back to backs, drop sets, supersets, tri-sets, giant sets. You could be a newbie to the gym. There's so many factors that just causes DOMS. You may have never even trained in your life and you just start to train. You may have pushed yourself too hard. Let me just say one thing real quickly. I'm not trying to push anybody, off the boat, but a lot of trainers, for example, think the harder they push their clients. Yes, a lot of trainers think the harder they push their clients, the more the client will feel that they need to come back to them. Where this can be very dangerous, because if you never trained before, for example, you go to a fitness class and you're just pushing yourself because the trainer is saying more. Sometimes DOMS can be so excruciating that it can actually cause injury. DOMS can be so excruciating that you just don't want to come back, to train because you're so traumatized by it. Because I've had some serious, crazy, intense, painful DOMS where I'm asking myself, if I'd never trained in the gym before and I didn't even know what this was, I'll probably be put up by a gym and I'll never come back. So what I'm trying to say, trainers you're watching this, or anybody, you're starting a fitness journey and you have some severe DOMS, it just means you pushed yourself too much. Just because you're texting your trainer, I've just done some abs, so I've done legs yesterday and my legs are hurting so bad I can't even move down the stairs. Thank you so much. Sometimes it just means you push yourself too much. Remember, we are nature of adaptation, the homeostasis level. You want to do things slowly so the body adapts over time. Because sometimes when I take time off gym, for example, take a week off, you want to rest the muscles because it's very taxing on the body. And I go too hard sometimes, this next day, I can't even walk, I can't even move, and it's so excruciating. And it's hard because obviously I live in London, getting up and down the train station, going up the platform, getting up from your seat, going into work. It's painful. You're painful walking the whole day because it's so painful. People don't understand. Like, pushing yourself too much sometimes doesn't always mean well. It can also result in injury too, especially if you're a person that doesn't have good range of motion or you're always tight. You can cause injury. So over time, it can actually be detrimental. So take your time when you're going into training. DOMS is a severe thing. DOMS can be a good stimulus because it means the muscles are broken down. Yes, you train, you break it down. DOMS. This is why I always say rest is very important. Say you train arms today. DOMS, it breaks down, so you can train legs tomorrow and then chest another day. Obviously, your arms may still assist, but you're not heavily focusing on that primary muscle. It's assisting now. It's not the agonist. It's not the major muscle. Do you know what I mean? Agonist and antagonist. We're not really going to go into much detail, but I'm trying to say it breaks down. It's over time. It's building new muscle tissue. That's where you go. You fill it with your nutrition, etc., etc. We're talking about just DOMS here itself. So when you feel that pain, a lot of people might think, it means that you push it too hard. Not push it too hard, it means that you don't know what you're doing in the gym. Sometimes there's a difference between DOMS and there's a difference between bad pain. Good pain and bad pain. You need to understand that people may think they're both, oh my God, I've got DOMS, but you might actually have injury. So they're two different things. Injury is a pain that does not feel right. DOMS is more of a muscle pain. It's as in a tightness of the muscle. So when you, for example, you're sitting too long, for example, after you trained yesterday, you're sitting too long, you get up and your muscles are all of a sudden tight. So you feel like it's like a tightening of the muscle. You feel like it's hurting because you sat too long. That's more likely you have DOMS. Whereas something that's painful all day round, even when you lie down with it, etc., you feel some pulsing sensation and it's excruciating, that's maybe more likely injury. So differentiate the two. There's DOMS and there's injury. So it's just basically that simple. So when you feel the pain the next day, it's just a stimulus that your body is just trying to grasp and say, hey, what is this stimulus? What is this stimulus? I need to adapt to this very, very quickly. So when he trains me again, I'm ready. I'm ready to fight. And that's literally what DOMS is. It's just a stimulus you get post training. It can be, you don't always get instantly. Everybody's different, but it could usually be 24 hours, 48 hours later, and it lasts, everyone's different. They say 72 hours to last for, but I've had DOMS that last almost a week, because it just depends on the intensity of how much you damage that muscle fiber. When I mean damage that muscle fiber, don't get confused. I mean damage it in a positive way. You can damage muscles in a positive way where it grows bigger, better, stronger. Not damage it in a negative way where you have injury. So you damage it in a way where it grows back bigger, better, and stronger, and you're able to adapt to it over time. And yes, you just keep scaling from there. And what you realize, years and years into your training, as you get used to it, your DOMS actually become less and less and less, because your body adapts to it. So even if you train more intense, the DOMS is not as excruciating, because your body knows how to adapt to DOMS, if that kind of makes sense. So DOMS, what is DOMS? Delayed onset muscle soreness. So it's inevitable. You're most likely going to get DOMS, or if you had DOMS in the past, somewhere in your training. But always manipulate in a positive way and take your rest. Don't listen to those coaches that says, you don't need to rest. I never take a rest day in my life. Harder, injury, hospital. So let's go out there, train safe. Let's continue to live. Despite us having DOMS, despite us feeling uncomfortable, you have to stretch and mobilize yourself through it. Let's continue to live to make history. Why? Because you and I, we honestly have one space in time. We have one life.